Hello, once again to another episode of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew.
Tim.
Brendan.
Awesome. Sorry for the delay getting this thing started tonight. We've tried to get Brendan's internet sorted out. We've now got his iPad on standby in case it all goes to shit again. But we'll see how it all goes. As always, we're going to be having a lot of fun with everything that goes on as usual. So get in the comments, give us your thoughts as we go along. Tonight we're going to talk about the latest from Yngwie Malmsteen, Godslave and Aussie band Nothing Sacred as well. I'll have a special little hot topic in just a second, which will bring in a guest for that one for a few minutes there too, which we're looking forward to. That's something different. We haven't quite done that in this format of doing things. And yeah, anything you need to know, you want to follow or whatever, then hit the description, the comments, the links, whatever. Everything you need to know is in the post or the description for this one. So follow us, follow us, subscribe, give this a share, help us spread the word around as well. And please check out our sponsors too in Squid Ink, Stream Printing, Alt Cult, and Rockstar Finance. Thank you for them for their ongoing support. And I've got some comments coming through, which I'll get to in a second, actually, which is rather amusing. But yeah, we're all having a good weekend so far. Hopefully you are out there as well having a good weekend. And yeah, we've got some clips and that coming up in the comments. So just keep up to date with all that sort of stuff and follow along, give us a share, get in the comments like we have already. So Nudes, our good regular friend Nudes has jumped in to say hi, guys. So it's a big hello to Nudes. Dave Saul has jumped in to say, wake up, Brendan. So, and on the counter to that, Ben Jars has also jumped in to say, I knew it was Brendan behind the delay. So we're getting a little theme going here.
What the fuck would you know, Ben?
Yeah. And Dean Wheaton, another regular of ours on Facebook, has jumped in to say, hey lads, hope all have had a rocking weekend. I think we are all doing well so far. And Keith Rawtism on YouTube jumped in to say yo, so that's awesome as well. And we are on Twitch now as well, if that's your preferred platform. I think the only one that can't comment in here is Instagram. I think everything else does work in some way, shape, or form. I'll get comments from every other platform except for Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, you can watch, but the comments won't quite come through, which is unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, how's everyone going? Tim, how's your weekend been so far? And the week since we've seen you last?
Pretty good. I've done shit all week. It was lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've caught up on. I'd like to say I've caught up on sleep, but that's not been happening. I've just developed calluses on my thumbs from playing Xbox.
That's not a bad thing if you're enjoying it, mate. So there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's cool. All right. What about you, Brendan? How have you been?
I've rediscovered my love for the. Really? Is it not working?
Is it
working or not?
Yeah.
Just plow on through. If it go on without me if it doesn't work. Yeah, I've been watching of the Olympics actually. So particularly been watching the skateboarding all day. So you can look forward to. Probably have a broken wrist.
This is you chopped out and then you came back with just the words broken wrist. So it's like, okay, that's just got no context at all to what was going on there. So
I think we got the hints.
That's all fun and games, which is all good. To which Ben also replied to you, Brendan. He said, I know stuff. I'm a Bombers fan. So, okay, that could be an interesting one to take into account there. But we'll what were we going to say then?
I said, I'm not touching that.
Oh, God. I'm just setting up a lead for someone. It's been interesting in a few respects, but we'll not get into too much detail for everything going on there. I'm just setting up a guest to come in, and we'll get that going in just a moment for everyone there. But it's think, despite talking about the obvious, which is what everyone's talking about at the moment, I think it's been relatively good. We're in Victoria. It looks like the numbers are coming down, so hopefully we'll be able to get out of this lockdown soon and start going back to gigs and having some more fun again. That's what I'm looking forward to at the moment. So that'll be good. If we can make that happen, that'd be ideal.
Overdue.
So let us know. You are. You don't like letting it go too long, do you?
No, it's just like every time I go like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get a haircut this time around. This weekend,
Yeah.
I'm getting a haircut. And then we go into lockdown, and then I let it go another month. And then I go, oh, you know what? I'm getting it done this weekend, and then we go back into lockdown.
So it's you. We can all blame you.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's the secret. The orange gig followed by me getting a haircut, lockdown.
Awesome. Cool. Good to know that that's where it's all coming from. That works out nicely there. Fucking hell. It's funny how many people have. This is interesting, just a random question. If anyone's got a thing that they think triggers a lockdown. So we know that, Tim, we think it's the haircut thing that causes a lockdown. If you've got something out there that is your little, I guess, curse, then get in the comments and let us know what you think is your curse when it comes to giving it a lockdown. This will be interesting to see if we have one there as well. We've got a question here from Dean. We'll go to that in a second, but I do want to bring in our guest now. So we've got Jazza coming into the stream now. How you going there, mate?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. We're bringing you in for a special little hot topic, I guess, moment that we've got going on here, and this is to do with a little thing. I believe you've been one of the more instrumental people in behind putting together Beechey's Bash. Is that correct?
Yeah, I threw it together. Yeah, yep. Okay.
Cool. So just for everyone that's tuning in now, in the comments or in the description of the post, then there's a link to this one, the Bandcamp link for Beechey's Bash. So please do check out what we're going to talk about here for a minute and then hit that link and give this one some support if you'd be so kind. So, Jared, just give us a bit of a rundown on this one. What's this all for and how did it all come about?
So Beechey's a really good mate of mine.
Yep.
And we were in we still are in a band together, just a two-piece blues band called Evil Twin.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit busy of late with kids and other projects. But yeah, regardless to say, he's hit a bit of a tough spot in his life with he's undergoing some chemo for cancer at the moment, and we all know that. Cancer's bad news for anyone, but just to give him a bit of a hand so he's not so stressed out a bit on the financial side of life. I can't do much about the cancer. I'm not a doctor, so I'm just being a mate and bringing together the musical community to try and give him it's an awful time for him and his family. So yeah, just being there for him, I guess. And so I reached out to the wider community from both mainly from Melbourne, but there was a bit of a buy-in from Tasmania as well. And we've put together this album on Bandcamp. So the proceeds of the sale go directly to him and his family. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. And you got a pretty good lineup of artists on this one. There's your own band there in Evil Twin, but there's a lot of other ones that have, I guess, jumped up for this one too. So I've got a list here if you need it, but just tell us who got involved and how you got them involved in this one as well.
Yeah, so obviously me and Beech have played with quite a few of these bands in Evil Twin and also in the Vendettas. I play in the Vendettas as well. And they're just mates and friends of friends. So I think we've got. You'll have to help me here because I don't have the list in front of me. But there's Cosa Nostra, Silverlight Shadows, Luca Brasi, Mustang, Cicada Stone, the Diecasts, Tim Smith and Holy Trash. You'll have to help me now. Sorry.
No, you're doing really well, man. So
yeah.
You're doing really well. So to rattle from top to bottom from your post here, it's Evil Twin, Don Fernando, the Diecast, Tim Smith and Holy Trash, Lava Fangs, the Jimmy C, Johnny Driver, the Balls, Cicada Stone, Shit Tats, Riff Raiders, Echo del Tusca, the Black Aces, Mustang, Two-Headed Dog, the Vendettas, Grindhouse, the Bad Dad Orchestra, Luca Brasi, Silverlight Shadows, and Costa Nostra. So that's one hell of a local band lineup there, and that's pretty cool. Are these songs that are already released from the bands, or are these new ones that are from the vaults? How's that all?
Yeah, mostly they're existing album tracks. There are a few little gems in there. I think Don Fernando did a live from the Cherry Bar. Tim Smith did an acoustic song that he did off his own studio, and the Diecast tracks I think might be new, but yeah, the rest are just existing tracks. Yeah.
Yep. And everyone they sort of just jumped up and all the funds from this are going straight to help out Beechey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just a rally call from the musical community. Yep.
Well, I know there's a lot of people sort of generally frustrated with, not being able to do gigs. And if you want to get involved and actually help something good in the scene right now, this is one of those ones where you really should jump in there and give this one a bit of a chop out. This is pretty cool. This is really well put together. I'm really impressed with this one. And it's $20 for the album. Yeah, that's all it is. For a lot of bands, a lot of tracks, just $20.
Yeah. I might just add
that we
are planning to do a gig at some stage, but just with the state of the land as it is, I just thought it was best to get this out and about, and we might follow up with a gig later down the track.
Cool.
I'm really...
What's going on now? Andrew's frozen. This is going well. Tim, take over.
Yeah, cool.
Going.
We're live, people.
Yeah.
We're live, pal.
Okay, I think I'm coming back now.
There we go. Well, I'm just, huge fan.
I've come back.
What I'm doing here is now relocating to get closer to my modem.
Wow. Okay. Brendan's wandering around. My internet's shitting itself, which is just brilliant for the time that we're in. We're having a good Sunday night session, and we've got a guest here that's wondering what the fuck is going on as we try to work our way through this nonsense with the Australian internet.
The joys of NBN.
We're all fantastic.
Funnily enough, the classic Frankston NBN is holding up fantastic.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, Ben turned around and said it all turned to shit when I dropped out. So hopefully everyone's sort of come back now because I'm here again. My connection has stabilized somewhat. I don't know what's happened with that. I'm usually pretty solid most times, but today it's not working now. But so, Jared, you were saying before it all went to crap, you've got a gig coming up in theory. Works, and it's not yet, but you wanted to get this album out, but you are planning hopefully to do one, yeah?
Yeah. There is a gig in the works, but it's just a little bit tricky at the moment. So at the moment, the album's out, and just keep an eye on if a gig comes through, at a later time.
Cool. So just to rattle off here, you got Evil Twin, Gotta Run, Don Fernando, Don't Go Live at Cherry Bar, the Diecast, Say Goodbye, Tim Smith, The Rescue, Lava Fangs, I'm No Good For You, the Jimmy C, Clear Blue Skies, Johnny Driver, Semi-Automatic, the Balls, Stranger, Cicada Stone, Shell Shock, Shit Tats, Palmer Night, Riff Raiders, When I'm Dreaming, Echo del Tusca, Gold and the Silver, the Black Aces, Fever Dreams, Mustang, Girls on Pills, the Vendetta, Stoned Ape, Two-Headed Dog, 2270, Grindhouse, Peter Brock, Built My Hot Rod, the Bad Dad Orchestra, Get Out of Town, Luca Brasi, Never the Right Time, Silverlight Shadows, Headspace, and Costa Nostra, Leave It Alone. What there? That is very, very cool. I'm hoping that, that is enough there to get people to be enticed to go and check it out. It's a great project, mate. You should be really proud of that, and hopefully this helps get the word out there more as well and give some support to Beechey.
No. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it's thanks for the promo.
All good. Sorry, it hasn't been as smooth a stream as we would have liked in that regard tonight. Yeah. But no, well done to you for organising this one. It's $20, people. Pitch in $20, get a bunch of great music, support some local music, support some local guy, or a local guy, Beechey, that's doing it really tough at the moment. And if you're frustrated, angry, whatever, this is something you can do that's positive to impact the world right now. So get onto it, please do. The link is in the description. It's in the comments. I'm going to put it in there again now as well. Give me a moment here to copy that and paste it. It's in the comments again now, so please do check it out across all the platforms there. But get on Bandcamp, give it a look. This is well worth your time. So, yeah, once again, you're a credit, and well done for putting this all together. These things are not easy, and the gig's going to be a lot more fun for you as well. But if we can help out with the gig later on, then, yeah, let us know. We'll do what we can to promote that as well for you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Beautiful. All right, cheers for taking the time to have a chat with us. All good. Well done, mate.
All right. Bye.
Cool. See ya. All right. I don't know what's going on with the stream tonight. It's all fucking having fun here. So we're having a grand old time. Apologies all. This is just one of those things that happens. Keith said Andrew is broken. Well, we all know that. Ben said it all turned to shit when I dropped out, so I don't know what happened to the actual stream overall. It's a bit weird. But Keith also said before, going back to the question we had before, unfortunately, a raw autism gig sometimes triggers a lockdown. Maybe he should lay low as well. So if we're looking for those... What was that?
So I know how that feels.
Yeah. But you've got yours as well. Every time you have your gig, then it goes to lockdown afterward.
We cause it.
And it's always a really good gig with a hot crowd, a full room.
Yeah, that's right.
Here we go. Ben's jumped in to say Brendan's looking real Carl Williamish tonight. So
I've been told that a few times, actually.
have you really?
You need the blonde tips now.
That'll be all right. For anyone that's having trouble with the stream tonight, we will be clipping the individual bits and pieces and putting those bits out there as individual pieces of content later on as well. But yeah, a question without notice that was given to us before we went to that little hot topic there for a second. Dean jumped up to say, if you guys haven't covered already, given the old statement bands who were scheduled to have been cancelled due to COVID, do we think the longer this COVID restriction goes on, tours like Gunners, AC/DC, Metallica, etc., will be the last time we see them come to Australia? Interesting one there. For the big iconic bands, do we think we'll get them one more time?
Depends on the band.
Yeah, true.
Like, I mean, Guns N' Roses aren't that old. It all depends on whether Slash and Axl can not kill each other.
Yeah.
And if that goes for a long time, then yeah, they'll probably come back. Same thing with Metallica. I mean, you'd hope once hoping James is healthy again, he'll come back for sure.
Yeah.
Bands like Kiss, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're gonna do the US and North America first, and Aussie don't think so, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And AC/DC don't know. They could go either way.
Yeah.
Just depends on the band.
That's a point to answer definitively. What are you in the same boat as that, Brendan? You think it's just more about the individual band cases, or?
Yeah, look, obviously, I mean, the thing with stadium bands, or the only bands that can fill stadiums now, is they're not being fucking replaced. So as long as they can keep doing it, they will. And I don't hold that against any of them. I mean, I know they all cop shit when they announce a tour, but, if you can still fill a, 50,000 seat stadium, then fucking good luck to you. But, same old story. My old frustration is there's no one taking their place. As long as there's no one taking their place, then Guns N' Roses are going to be a draw. I don't think they deserve it, if you will, which might get me thrown out of the fucking heavy metal fan club as well. But it is what it is.
I think we're all in agreement. So it really does depend greatly upon the band. I think the closer they are to the end, and I think you sort of know when the band is coming to the end. Like Aussie, I would be surprised if we got Aussie again. Kiss. Shit, they might if they can make enough money out of it, but that's really going to be hard. Yeah, and it will come down to that too. That's not a off the cuff remark. It's not flippant. It's expensive.
I think with Kiss, the makeup covers a lot.
Yeah.
Like they're older than you think they are.
Yeah.
The makeup and the backing tracks cover a hell of a lot of what's missing.
Exactly. Whereas like Metallica and Guns N' Roses are a good 15, 20 years younger for the most part.
Yeah. So it does depend on that age factor and just what they're up to. I think if they're not heavily touring bands and they're not releasing albums, then it's going to be hard pressed to get them to come out here. Bands like Steel Panther, even though they're not exactly young either, I reckon we're guaranteed to get them again as soon as the borders open up because they'll just keep plugging along as long as they can, kind of a thing. So there are some bands who go, yeah, we'll see them again. Some bands I'm not as convinced on. AC/DC, I think is the fix. At the same time, Iron Maiden, I'd almost be able to go 100% we'll see Iron Maiden again. Some bands, are actual road warriors and will keep going. If Motorhead was still going, I'd say they'd probably be ones to come out here because the other way, But obviously that's not going to happen for obvious reasons. But there are certain bands who just had that ethos about them and the other ones you're not quite so sure on. So if you're not sure about them, if the chance comes up, I would grab tickets and fingers crossed, hope for the best is what I would put in that one there. But I don't know. That's all we can say about it for now. It's really hypothetical. We could all be fucking dead wrong 6 months from now. Who the hell knows? Or a meteorite could hit us tomorrow and it won't fucking matter anyway. So, take your pick. It is what it is in all that regard. But yeah, I don't know. Good question though. Good one to think about there. There's an interesting bit of thought. There we go. Here we go. Nudes jumping. Alice will be back. Yeah, Alice Cooper back for sure. Aerosmith, no hope. Yeah, that's probably a fair summation. Aerosmith might get one more, maybe, but I wouldn't hold my breath for it.
When was the last time they were here?
It was a while ago now, wasn't it?
Because I don't actually ever remember them touring here.
They have. I just don't know when it was.
So it can't have been in the last 10 years.
Jesus, I don't know. I would have to do a Google on that one right now. If anyone there knows, save me the Google. Then yeah, that would be.
That's what I mean. If they haven't been here in 10 plus years, then I don't think so. They're not coming now.
Well, not now, and it's hard to see them because I think that for this to be stable enough to work properly, you're still looking another 2 years at least away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But when it gets stable enough to work properly, what they're going to be doing is they're just going to be doing the US and the Europe loop over and over again.
Yeah.
For the record, I disagree with that. It's going to take 2 years to get back to normal.
You disagree? Okay.
6 months.
You think 6 months? Okay. Well, you're optimistic. All right, cool.
Well, because I got no choice. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
Once borders open,
Funnily enough, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle with both of you.
Well, there you go.
If you're asking about other countries, 6 months, no problem. If you're talking about Australia, it depends.
They're not going to have any choice. This is what it comes to. I'm not saying right, wrong, or otherwise. I'm not. I'm not going for any political point scoring. I just think they're gonna run out of options. They're gonna have to say, "Well, fuck it, we have to deal with this shit." So, and once we're at
that's
that
the
point,
flip side. Yeah, the flip side is your hospital system. That's always the counter.
I'm not saying pro con. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They're going.
Well, this is why, but this is why again, to way sidetracked. But with the UK opening up, because they're at 50% fully vaccinated, 70% first jab.
Yeah,
and it's like you need to open up sometime. I think it's a fair argument to say, maybe 50% is too early. Maybe 50% fully vaccinated is too early. We should wait till it's 60 or 70. But I mean, you got to open up sometime.
Yeah, at some point.
You look at the US; they're not going to get 60 or 70 because too many of the population is stupid. So,
once I think, hopefully,
I think at the moment, go on.
No, sorry, I was going to say, hopefully we wait until everyone who wants it has a chance to get it. After that, that's the only thing I hope.
I'd get it tomorrow if I could.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had
to wait. Yeah,
I'm
you're not eligible
10
yet,
years
are
too young.
you? Yeah, which is shit, but all right. Hopefully that changes
Might
soon.
explain our internet problems, actually, that I've had it twice.
Yeah. Damn it, Brendan, you're supposed to connect your own 5G by now, aren't you?
Damn it.
In answer to our question,
Here we go.
there you go. Tune in there. Aerosmith did a few shows in 2013-ish. Last national tour was 1990. So there you go.
The key context here is that Nudes is in Adelaide.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So in 2013, a national tour does not generally go to Adelaide, unfortunately.
Yes.
In 2013, a national tour is Melbourne and Sydney.
Mm.
Well, they don't have a big history in Australia because, prior to Pump, they never really sold any albums here either. Yeah. They never quite cracked it in Australia for whatever reason. Probably the radio stations didn't support them, I would imagine.
Well, that wouldn't be.
It's funny. Like, there's so many, like, songs Aerosmith songs that people would say in the US would see as like massively iconic songs that here in Australia would just walk this way.
Yeah, that's true. Although they're much better than that, but yeah. We should do an Aerosmith special one day. We haven't done one yet. That's one of those bands.
Oh, shit. Yeah, we should definitely do that.
They're a very good band, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe next year. We've got this year mapped out. Maybe next year we'll try and tee one up for that one. But anyway, keep the questions and suggestions coming. We'll try and get to them as we can. Let's get on to a review while we still got some relative internet stability going on at the moment. So in the comments or in the description or the post, wherever you're tuning in, there is a link to a reference track for you. The track we're giving to you is a band called Nothing Sacred, and the song is fitting for the times. It's called Virus. So that's going to be what you... So that's what you're going for. That's your reference track for this one. It's the most recent video from the band, and we'll get into our first review of the night. So here we go. This is Nothing Sacred, No Gods, 10 tracks, 41 minutes, the second studio album, much-loved Aussie band, released July 2021 via Rock Shots Records. 3 singles have so far been released, including Stoner and Final Crime. This is a different lineup from the original band and also a different lineup from the reunion lineup in 2015. This is the band's first album since Let Us Pray in 1988 and features 2 tracks originally written in the 80s for their then planned second album. So this one got quite a bit of hype leading up to it. Let's see how we all with it. Let's go to you first, Brendan.
I thought it was really cool for the most part. I've got no history with this band at all. For some reason, well, in the 80s it obviously passed me by. Well, I was probably either too young or not living in the country at the time. So this was kind of my first taste of them, and like when the guitars and drums and everything hit, and I was pretty into it. I thought it was cool. The mix is pretty raw, which normally I like. The only thing I found really off-putting about the way it sounded was actually the vocals seemed very disjointed to the music for me. It just kind of felt like it was done. I don't know. It's really production is not really my thing, but it really, the vocal felt very separate to everything else, which it's nothing to do with performances either. The performances are fantastic. I like the songs. They're well written and well structured. It sounds, like I said, the production's pretty raw, but I like that.
Yeah.
But it's just the vocal. I don't know if it needed a little bit. It probably just needed a little bit of reverb and to be sitting a bit further back.
I'd say it is a bit of a dry cutting vocal. Maybe a bit of reverb might have softened it for you. Yeah, and like I said, that's not normally something that kind of bothers me, but on this, through the whole thing, it was just standing out and tended to grate a little bit. But that's going to be a taste thing, and it really doesn't take away from anything on it. The songs are really well written and well structured. Lyrics are good. Solos are good. The riffs are really, really chunky. It chugs along pretty easy, and you can. I doubt anyone that's into metal would ever turn it off. It's really easy to listen to. But no, I enjoyed it a lot. I give it 8 out of 10. Virus and Final Crime for me with the standouts. But it was really cool. Like I said, my whinges are only whinges. It's only Fair enough. Cool.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Really listen.
Yep.
Finish. I like just as a personal taste thing. I just like a really thick guitar sound that just chugs along for 40 or so minutes. And it just hits in your happy spot. Thought like performances are great. Songs are really well written. I mean, if I had a gripe for me, I would have done like something different, like in the production with the guitars, in the sense that it did feel a little bit sort of one-paced to me. Like I would have done something to thicken it up in the choruses or something like that. But again, that's just me being an idiot. Like for the most part, I've really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm basically just going to be repeating what Brendan says for the most part for this one.
Sorry.
Look, what can you say? Performances are great. Rock songs are really well written. If you like that sort of chunky metal riff fest, then it's for you. Yeah, Final Crime is my highlight. Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Cool. All right, well, yeah, let's make it 3 for 3 because I enjoyed this one as well. It's it's metal. If you haven't got that idea by now, it's got a bit of a thrash bass to it, but heaps of melody in it as well. I thought there was some killer riffs on this. I did enjoy the drumming too. I thought that rhythmic pulse that this one had was really nicely presented. It's not entirely balls out. It never loses its bite, but they did use. I know what you mean by about the pacing is a bit sort of. There's not a huge gear shift. You get a couple toward the end, which is nice. But it does get a bit one-dimensional in the pace aspect of it. But because I use Groove, I didn't mind it as much as you might on other releases out there as well. I also liked how on the drum kit, he was using different pieces of the kit. Like he used the full kit on this record. Not many go as far as this one did in that regard. For as long, like there was a part where he's hitting the center part of the cymbal. I don't know what the fucking detail is there, but that
bell
was the bell of it. There you go. And that was just really. I don't know. It was one of those things where it was sustained for a period of time. It was okay. Not many people do that. So there were some differences in the subtlety being applied to it. But I like the way this thing chugged along. I thought the solos, not heaps of solos, when they did come in, they were, good for the impact that they brought to the songs. And I liked the overall tone of this one. It's grit and it's crunchy, but it's still clear with just a little bit of polish. Not a lot of polish. It does have that edge to it that Brendan was talking about, which I think suits them really nicely. Lyrically, it had some depth. There was a bit to say in it as well. But there were, on top of all this sort of grit and grunt and groove and stuff, there were some hook moments in this as well. Some of these songs will sort of get stuck in your head with the earworm effect a bit more easily than you might expect to, which is pretty cool. And this album flies by. It doesn't, once it gets into a groove with you, it doesn't take long for this one to go by, and it's very, very easy to repeat spin as well. You can have this one as a focus point or as a background album. Either way, you're going to be happy if you're a metalhead and you're going to enjoy this one. But I also feel like the further this album went on, the better it got for me. It really picked up for me after the halfway mark. That's when I really started to get stuck right into it. But I think at the beginning of the album is what the hardcore fans from the 80s would sort of be looking for at the same time. So I think that, that's when you get the initial stuff there to get the old school fan base in, and then you got the newer development stuff coming toward the second half of the album. But I think the last two tracks in this are actually the ones that were written back in the 80s, and they blended in perfectly as well. So between the old and the new and the lineup change, all sort of stuff, nothing's really impacted them in any negative way. It's just another really good, solid album. It's well written, performed, produced, has been covered off here extensively. If you like metal, go and check this out. I reckon this is a good, solid album. I think it's also worth checking out the re-recording of the non-album single Death Wish, because that's pretty cool, and that's on digital platforms as well. So go and check that out too. But anyway, like everyone else, gave an 8 out of 10, so it's unanimous. But I think the highlight tracks are different for everyone. I picked Stoner, Killing You, and False Prophets as my standouts on this one. So there we go. Different standouts, but we all liked it, which is always a nice thing to have in that regard. Sally's made it. Sally's jumped in and say, hey, didn't miss it all. No, you didn't miss it all. And you probably came in when the internet stabilized, which is probably even better. There we go. And Keith said, heard Walk This Way almost every day from the radio, so not getting supported is not the case. Yeah, I don't think they were supported until that point, though. That was the thing. On the Aerosmith, like once that one came out,
you wouldn't hear Sweet Emotion on the radio. That's the key.
Mm-hmm. You do now,
and I reckon that's
but you
song. Yeah, now
you certainly didn't back then.
No.
I hadn't heard Walk This Way until Run DMC came out, but that's probably showing my age at the time.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know how much support it got before Run DMC had a crack at it either.
Yeah, in Australia, I don't think it got much at all. Yeah.
So, Love It and Elevator and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so from Pump onwards, yeah, they got the radio support. But prior to Pump, I'm not as convinced they got a whole lot of radio support here. But anyway, if anyone out there is more up to speed on that sort of thing, then yeah, get in the comments and let us know while we move on to another reference track for everyone to go and check out. This is a band called Godslave. The song is Straight Fire Zone. So it's in the link, the post, whatever. It's in the comments now. Go and check it out and give us your thoughts on the album if you've checked it out as well. So this is one that Tim, I think you were keen to check this one out when we put it in the lounge and gave everyone what do you want to check out. This is one that you were keen on. So we're going to go with Godslave, Positive Aggressive, 10 tracks, 43 minutes. The 6th studio album for the German band, released July 2021 by Metalville Records. 4 singles so far been released from this, including How About No and Straight Fire Zone. Not heaps of info on this, but it does come after the band almost completely broke up in 2020. So, yeah, like I was saying, Tim was the one that pushed for it. So, Tim, let's go to you first on this.
Positive aggressive sums up pretty well.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we've stopped being the biggest release week, and I've heard Godslave before, and I thought, why not? And I think they've justified my faith in them because I really enjoyed this album. It's just a good, solid, thrashy metal record with some nice breakdowns and some nice fight riffs. Yep. Which, what more do you really need? There's some cool callback vocals as well, and I like the the more throaty, bassy, thrashy vocals for me as well. With a few exceptions, of course, but for me, this sits in my happy zone as well. And of course, because of that, the vocals can sit right to a bit more close to the front than you would for a higher pitch vocal.
Yep.
But yeah, look, solid grooves all around. Plenty of want to get into a fist fight moments as well. And honestly, the other thing that stuck out for me was that it was catchy. I mean, this song had choruses. This song had these songs had backing vocals that served the melody, and everything stuck with you. And I thought it was really well written from start to finish, and I really enjoyed it. And yes, 8.5 out of 10. And King Cortex is my highlight.
Okay, cool. All right, Brendan, you agree?
Yeah, almost. I have no history with the band again, but I enjoyed it a lot. But I kind of fell in and out of love a bit. Like their thrashier, kind of more intense moments took me to kind of almost a Municipal Waste kind of vibe. And then it would slide into almost a bit of a German power metal sort of thing, which would sort of take me away again. So I found myself kind of constantly drifting in and out of love with it, which was an interesting ride. But it was a fun ride. It was really good. It sounded fucking amazing. It's mixed beautifully, captured really well. The songs are good. It's high energy. It's a lot of fun. I can't put my finger on quite why I didn't love it more, but I didn't, and I gave it a few spins thinking, maybe I'm just not in the mood.
It did have those I don't know, those kind of power metal backing vocals. At points, like How About No, they're kind of like they almost kind of sound like pirate metal-y.
Yeah, and that's probably
in a little bit of a way.
For me, like, if I want to listen to Municipal Waste, I'll listen to Municipal Waste, not this. Yeah, like it's when I want that sort of angry, punch everyone in the face kind of metal, that's kind of where I go. This sits sort of a step back from that, which is probably what put me off. It didn't put me off. It's amazing. It's good. Check it out. You like it heavy? Check it out. It's really cool. But yeah, it didn't just really float my boat. I gave it 7.5 out of 10. I also had King Cortex, Flap of a Wing, and what was the other one? From Driven, the 3 I had.
Okay, cool. Well, I thought that from the start, this one gets your attention. I have no familiarity with this band until now, but this is Some nice thrash with some nice melodic guitar work. I thought the melody applied by the lead guitar in particular through these ones and the riffs in that too was a really nice touch and made this one sort of leap out a bit. Got some cool groove on this, upfront intensity, but they still use that groove nicely to keep this one chugging along. But I like the lyrics and the vocals in this one. They were really well done. This is like a happier version of Harlot. So if you know Melbourne band Harlot, this is like a happier version of that. Tim said at the top of his review that positive aggressive is kind of a good way to sum this up, and that's what this feels like when you're listening to this kind of record. Still, intense. The subject matter is pretty dark, but they've just done it in the right way with that pitched, aggressive vocal. I thought the gang vocals on this were a nice touch too. They added some nice impact and enhanced the overall, those moments in the songs that enhance those impactful parts of it as well. But I liked how in the composition side of things, they left moments of space and change in there. They changed the direction of the songs nicely, but nothing that felt out of place either. Like it all fit together, it all worked nicely, but they weren't afraid to just sort of take a little bit of a turn here and not make this thing stale at all. It flies by. And because it's got a more of an upbeat feel, I thought that maybe it's the use of more major notes or something in this one, but it was just a bit of a twist on the formula, which was nice. It wasn't a divergent in any huge respect from what you want from this style of music, but at the same time, it did just enough to sort of just stand aside from the pack a bit, which is cool for me. I like the production, nice and punchy. Everything was really clear. The grip perfect on this one, but I like the smaller details in this. Like there was some subtle layering and panning and things like that were done nice. Like that really came through in the deeper listen than the casual listen, but they really did add a little something to these songs as well. I think if you like Teutonic metal at all, this is one you got to check out. Lots to enjoy here. If you like it a bit more thrashy, just if you like your metal, we're having a good night for that regard all around. I liked they put a cello or something in about the midpoint of Show Me Your Scars, which showed again that they weren't afraid to try and do things a bit differently. And I thought that was actually really nicely done. And the notes they used for that one too were a bit different. It wasn't just a typical piece. So that was really cool. But I like the tempo. I like they're a bit different. This one flies by. It's a pump you up kind of record, so that the album title itself is one of those ones that, it is positive and aggressive at the same time, and it makes you sort of walk away feeling that way as well, which is odd to describe, but that's kind of what it is. They live up to it all. 8.5 out of 10 from me as well. My standouts were positive, aggressive. It's unanimous on King Cortex. We all love that one, so that should be a single. And From Driven, same as Brendan. So, yeah, we all enjoyed that one, which is cool. All right, we got some stuff here. Sally's jumped in to say she's going to check this one out. I think you will like that one, Sally, knowing your taste in music there. Going back to the actually, no, I'll go to this one first. Tim, our good friend Tim, has jumped in to say, checked out this album today, enjoyed it. If you like this one, check out the new album from Eradicator as well. Well, it's that's what we're doing on Thursday night, so we'll be getting to that one in due course in a few days. And cool. Keith has jumped in to say, you sold me, Godslave. I will crank it all the way on the work tomorrow, which is cool. Nicely done. So we're getting some fans to find this band as well. And going back to the Aerosmith chat, which is going to be a running theme, I think, tonight. Nudes jumped in to say, don't want to miss a thing was huge. Crap, but huge. Yeah, that broke huge. That was much later than Pump. That was due to a movie soundtrack.
Had a few of those. One. Living on the Edge was another one that was kind of huge, but meh.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good song, though. I will say Living on the Edge is a good song.
Nah, Weird Al's version's better. Living in the Fridge.
Yeah, no, Living in the Fridge is pretty cool. I will pay that one.
What is it with Weird Al and food?
I like food. You like food?
Yeah, I like food, but how many songs does Weird Al have about food?
A lot. Everyone's got their gimmick. We'll just leave it there, I guess. Skinny white man likes food. We'll go with that. I don't know.
He likes food more than Quentin Tarantino likes feet.
Probably a fair summation, I would say.
Deep.
That's
deep.
I'll pay that.
I could write a thesis on that.
Ooh. I want a song, Brendan. I want a song about this from you.
Feet. Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
You've done everything else just about, so why not?
Glory hole foot jobs.
All right.
Video is going to be much harder to shoot.
Oh wow, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to that sort of remake of that coming down the line. That'll be fun. Anyway, let's try and move on to our main event of the evening, if we will. Oh, here we go. Quentin likes Tim. How do you know that? So I don't know.
Oh, it's an internet thing that's going around if you follow Quentin Tarantino's movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always something to do with feet in those movies. It's an interesting one, but oh well. Here we go. Anyway, on to the main event. This is one that's an artist that has a very interesting history with the Hard Rock Show. Without any further ado, let's talk about it. This is oh, no, wrong one. Damn it. I want to go back to this one. This is what I want to put in the comments now. So check this out in the comments or in the description, the post, whatever you're tuning into this one from. There is a link there. It's Yngwie Malmsteen, and the song is Wolves at the Door. That's the reference track for this main event tonight. So Yngwie Malmsteen, Wolves at the Door is your reference track. Check it out, and check out the album if that gets your attention, because we're going to talk about it now. This is Yngwie Malmsteen with Parabellum. 10 tracks, 56 minutes. There's 22nd solo studio album from the world-renowned guitarist, released July 2021 via Music Theories and Mascot label group, produced by Yngwie, who also does vocals and I think pretty much everything else on this one as well. 3 singles have so far been released, including Wolves at the Door and Relentless Fury. Like I said, we've got a great hit-and-miss history with this artist here, so let's see how this one goes. But Brendan, you were looking forward to this one, let's put it that way. So how did you go?
I was really looking forward to it because of how shit the last album was, and how entertaining your guys. I think it predates my association with the show, but it was one of my favourite bits of television I ever saw. It was fucking hilarious.
It was a fun
so
game.
I mean, there's two things we all know about. There's 2 things that we know that can't be denied about Yngwie Malmsteen. The first one, obviously, he's a fucking phenomenal guitar player. Second one is he's a complete cockwomble. So, you know, if you accept those 2 things and sort of go into this, you know, you kind of going to know what you're in for. This is without doubt one of the best albums I've heard this year.
Wow. Okay.
Unfortunately, what he's done is he's released the singles, which are probably the weakest tracks on the album. So that link that you've put up there, if you think that's a reflection of what you're going to get for the rest of the album, don't do that. Dig deeper, because it's much better than that. He shouldn't sing. We know that. He absolutely shouldn't sing. He does have a horrible vocal, but he doesn't write well for a vocal. And I think that's sort of his big letdown. You know, his lyrics are fucking pretty cheesy, and his vocal melodies are very Swedish. Simple.
His vocal melodies are the exact opposite of his guitars.
Exactly. They're Swedish. Yeah. You might as well be listening to ABBA in a shred fest. It's basically ABBA in a blender when he's singing. It's not real cool. But
with Flight of the Bumblebee going in the background.
But the rest of the stuff saves this album, because fuck me, it's the second track, Presto Vivace in C sharp minor, which is probably one of the most pretentious fucking song titles you're ever going to get in your life. But fuck me, is it good?
Wow.
He's a beast of a player. You know, when you get to virtuoso kind of playing, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. Is it musical masturbation? Yeah, absolutely, in its highest form. But it's also phenomenally played. It's got a really, really vintage mix to it, which is going to put some people off. I really liked it.
Okay.
It took me right back to the early sort of Malmsteen albums that captured my imagination as a bloody, you know, testosterone-filled 15-year-old or whatever I was when I first heard Malmsteen. It took me right back there to fucking how good is this guy? It's fucking mind-bending how good he is. And a lot of the compositions are great. So it's not going to be for everyone. If you don't like this kind of shit, don't listen to it. This is not going to change your mind. But, you know, if you've ever had an affinity to Malmsteen stuff, then this is the best thing he's put out since 1990, I reckon. I think he's done a phenomenal job of this one. I said it was a nice bit of ear candy for me, and I didn't expect that. I really expected to be sitting here in front of everyone saying what a fucking train wreck this was. But it's not. It's not. Okay. Amazing. So I give it 9 out of 10. I mean, it gets marked down because of the shitty singing for the best part. But ignore those. The instrumental tracks make it all worthwhile. So Presto Vivace, incredible. Toccata was incredible. Parabellum, the title track, amazing. So check it out if you like guitar wankery.
All right. Okay. All right. We got that one. Okay. Tim, what about you?
I'm actually in two minds about this because in the first one, I'm actually seriously disappointed because when I saw reviewing Malmsteen, I had so many like zingers lined up for this album. And I can't use any of them because the album was pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, even like one of them, like even like the cover art being better than the album. Like I couldn't even use that because it's the most like low key Malmsteen cover art I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like,
but he's selling. He's selling that. That's a portrait that was painted that he's selling, and the money is going towards like underprivileged children or something. So you can't even hate the cover.
I can't even make fun. It's not going towards another Ferrari. Damn it.
No. Yep. So there you go.
But like, I was expecting a rest note. You're listening to the wrong music. Expect solid sweep picking for 45 minutes. But the issue with like what you're gonna get with Malmsteen, but this is by far for me this is the best release I've ever heard from him. I think just the way these songs are put together, like he's figured out how to write music around what he can do here and what he wants to do. Because what he wants to do is he wants to sweep pick a million miles an hour and have a tremendous guitar tone, and he's figured out how to write the background music to that here.
It's fair.
And it just works tremendously well. Like if you've heard anything from Malmsteen in the past and been interested by it, but been kind of put off by how wanky it is, this is the one to check out because this is again where don't get me wrong, it's still wanky, but there's purpose to it, and you can enjoy it as a listen and as a piece of that starts and finishes and keeps going. As Brendan said before, the vocal tracks are by far the weakest. Having said that, I don't think they're bad either. I think they're like
fucking good actually.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I think it's Eternal Bliss is a really nice melody to it, and Relentless Fury is another one's got another nice melody to it. But I mean, the highlights for me are Presto Vivace in C sharp minor and Toccata, but that Presto Vivace in particular. As soon as that comes on in track 2, and it's like, again, I was disappointed because it's like, well, there go all my one-liners.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fucking cracking album. 9 out of 10.
Fuck. Jesus Christ.
Is Eternal Bliss a cover? Because I've had a funny feeling I'd heard it before, but I didn't have enough chance to go.
It's no, I looked it up, but it's not a cover, but it's that Friends Forever song that was like popular like 20 years ago. As we go on,
that's
we
the one.
remember.
That's it.
All the times we spent together.
Right,
That's like the first half of that, and then he's changed the second half.
Yeah. Okay. Very Euro melody. Very, very Euro melody.
But yeah, I'm sure there's a gazillion songs with a similar melody to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Got some comments coming through, which I'll get to with this. This is going to come down to taste. The thing is that I went into this one with a pretty low bar because of the last review. I sat there going, fuck. I think the line was, it sounded like it was recorded with a potato, by a potato, in a potato, or something. That was the last time around we recorded. We did a review of Malmsteen, and that review was, fuck, we have copped so much hate comment on that one, but it's hilarious. So, it is what it is. if you like non-stop sweep pick guitar wankery, this is going to be for you. If you don't like that, this is not going to be for you. So don't even bother. But if you are a fan from back in the day, like Rising Force and all those other ones, then I think this is much more of a return to form. I cannot hate this album. I don't love it as much as you two do, but I can't hate it. It's actually pretty well put together. So whilst I'm not a big fan, I do have to pay a bit of respect to this one. I do have to note, though, that the snare sounds like something banging mud off of their boot. That's what their snare sounds like on this thing. It was a thwack, 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 thwack. It was just fucking annoying.
It's very dry, for sure.
Yeah, and
But I personally, so the reason why I don't mind that is because, for me, if you let that snare ring out on this album, he's playing so fast, it's going to clash with other notes.
I get it, but would have almost been better to not have a snare for mine. Just as a different thing there. Look, that's about the harshest critique I'm going to give to this one on execution, to be honest. This is I'm different to you guys in that I liked the ones with the vocals more than the Wankfest ones because I've never enjoyed complete wankery. It's always put me off. Just because you can play a million notes doesn't mean you should play a million notes. And I tune out.
It's just Paganini, man.
Yeah, I get it, but this is all pure neoclassical bullshit. Like that's exactly what this is. And if you want that, you're going to be very, very happy with this. This is exactly what you want from Malmsteen. If you are a fan from back in the day, and we've got a comment here, which, someone says, I was a big fan back in the day. Yeah, check this one out because this will make you happy again. For me, it's cool that you guys didn't, you think the vocal ones are the weakest tracks. For me, they're the ones that gave me the most access to this one because that was where I could sort of breathe a bit when I was listening to these ones. Now, Malmsteen's not the strongest vocalist in the world, but he's gotten incrementally better because he's done vocals on the last few albums and he's gotten better with each one. So he's actually pretty good now. Not world-beating, anything like that, but he can hold a note, he can do harmonies, and it all comes off pretty well. And the way he's mixed it back a bit too with a lot of reverb has sort of papered over any cracks there might be really nicely. So that side of things was nicely done. The guitar tone comes through nicely. You can hear every fucking note that's being played. But what I liked in context, because I start to tune out when it starts to go fucking for the races and go absolutely bullshit, is I start paying attention to what the rhythm section underneath it is doing. That's what Tim was talking about. The background music actually became more interesting to me because, you can play that. I'm not going to try and keep up with it. I don't pay attention. So I pay attention to what's going on underneath. And the bass lines were really cool on this one. I liked the composition overall. And for me, that made it a lot more enjoyable to take in because even though I wasn't appreciating the nonsense with the lead stuff, the riffs were cool when they kicked in. The rhythm section on this was anchoring it all down. I'm pretty sure the drums were programmed, but it didn't feel that much like a programmed drum thing. It actually felt relatively organic. And he did a bit more in this one too. There was a bit of synth in there too. There was some harpsichord sort of tones being used in this one. Like little choral choir things from the synth. So all these things are going to flesh out the sound well. So this isn't just him beaten away for an hour. There's actually a lot more going on to this one, which gives you more. If you're not into the guitar stuff, there's still enough here to keep you interested. I thought the songs, the lyrics and the melodies are typical, like you're saying, it's Swedish stuff, and that is what it is. But I thought that for me was actually more enjoyable, and I liked how he's composed songs more completely. I think for me personally, I'd like less notes. I know that's sacrilege when it comes to Malmsteen. He's never going to do it. I would like that personally. A bit more feel would be nice, but at the same time, I get what he's doing. I get the fan base he's got, and if you're in that fan base, this is going to be exactly what you want. I think that where it gets too much for me is these A to D moments that he's got. Like God Particle was one, Magic Bullet straight afterward was another one, and then Sea of Tranquility at the end. It's an 8-minute song, the last track. 8 minutes of him just going off, and it fades out. I reckon he's still fucking playing that song. He's still fucking playing that song. It just didn't go anywhere near finishing. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that I think the fade out was just that's the end of the tape kind of a moment. Like that, it just ran out kind of thing. So it just had to be faded out at some point. But I wouldn't be, that meme where someone's doing some weird dancing, they clip the guy doing like a football marker and they set him off into space and all that sort of shit. That video meme, they should get one of Malmsteen just playing, and that would be that song just going off into the stratosphere. But you know, he's good at what he does. He's an absolutely talented virtuoso guitarist. So I'm not going to sit here and knock anything about it in any great thing. It's just going to come down to taste. This is well executed, not a bad recording, not the world's best, but he's he's improved a lot. Since the Potato days, he's come a long way from that. So
the Potato days.
Yeah, this is a much
That's the name of my next album. The Potato Days.
There you go. But yeah, so he's it's weird to say it 22 albums in for him now, but from when he's really started to be completely on his own beast, kind of no vocalist, no nothing, he's actually I think he needs an editor still, but he's come a long way from that to where he is now. So this is a much better release than I was expecting. And like I thought I was going to go into this and go bang, but I'm not. It's actually not bad at all. I don't rate it as highly as you guys, but it's worth a listen if you're a fan for sure. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I did pick the vocal tracks though because that is my access point. So Wolves at the Door, Fight the Good Fight, and Relentless Fury were my standouts on this one. But yes, in small doses, this is one I actually wouldn't mind checking out here and there as well. So this is one that I will potentially revisit at different points in the future, and it makes me more curious to check out the next one he'll do because, you know, I've got something different than I expected out of this. So well done. Like, I'm not the world's biggest fan, and I know that might piss a lot of people off, but he's done well with this one, so credit where due. So jumping into the comments here for a second, Rudy jumped in on Facebook. Thanks for joining us tonight. When you were talking about the your intro to it, Brendan, he was going, yes, but he's a living legend as well at the same time you were talking about I forget the exact words you used, but in your opening little monologue, you were talking about how talented he was, but how much of a cockwomble, I think it was. Cockwomble was the word you used.
I think it
was that one there? Yeah. So Suma Left on YouTube says Malmsteen sings on this album. He's done vocals on the last few. I think since Rick Rowan's left, he's done the vocals himself on his albums. And he also said, I was a big Malmsteen fan back in the day. Sounds like I'm going to check this one out. And that's the truth. I think if you are a fan from back in the day, this is one you should check out. Sally said, I remember the Yngwie the potato, so it wasn't just us. That is one of those ones that was a memorable thing there. Here's a question from Suma Left, though. What vegetable has he upgraded to? Sweet potato?
Well, this is the hard part is that how do you upgrade from potato?
True. I mean, it's so bloody versatile.
Potatoes are fucking delicious.
Yeah, it's just true.
He might have gone like Mighty Boosh and gone through a crab. Yeah.
Or a celery stick. I don't know. Maybe recorded with a steak or a good steak. Let's say a good marbled steak on this one.
I gotta find that Mighty Boosh thing where he's talking about everything he did. And I ran it through this and all this thing, and then ran it back through this crab. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a crab with a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the missing note?
Yeah.
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 And that was the what was it? The new sound, was it?
Yeah.
And they're walking through the desert, and there's Chris de Burgh that's pointed out to me is actually Noel Fielding's dad, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, wow, there you go. Keith jumped in to say sweet potato, so yeah, that's a possibility there as well. Sweet potato is versatile. And Dean jumped in to say, hey?
Sweet potato is not better than potato. It's good,
no, probably
not better.
It's good, but yeah, potatoes.
Here we go. Dean's going to check out the albums, which is cool. Good on you for that. Nude said, tried watching a live concert of him years ago, but the keyboard player pissed me off. Showed body to the camera the whole gig. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think
that
keyboard
I've seen that happen too. That's tough.
Okay.
But the keyboard's actually really subtle on this one. To be honest, you don't notice it. Like, it's certainly there, but yeah, it's not.
It's a sound wall, not a highlight. It's just a sound wall element. So we've got Nicole, has jumped in on YouTube. So thanks for joining us tonight. Nothing sweat about Malmsteen. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay,
Gosh.
so not a fan? I'm not sure. Let us know. But yeah, it was an interesting album, that one. It's funny how some of these ones you line up thinking you're going to kick it. And then you go, I can't. Which is, it is what it is. Well done.
I was looking forward to kicking it.
Yeah. Didn't happen. This is the whole, when you got the boot lined up for Bart's ass and then you get denied in the last moment. That's what this is in that regard. Sally jumped in. He's a farmer's market organic tomato, self-impressed, and it's red, so it goes faster. That's actually
fair enough.
Yeah, pretty good description. Nicole's jumped in to reply saying, no, not a fan at all. And that's fair enough. And if you're not a fan, this album won't do anything to change your mind. It will not do anything at all. So don't check it out if you're not a fan. That's how it works. But hopefully you will check out the other two bands tonight because they were fucking fantastic. We all agree on those ones. So Nothing Sacred and Godslave, check out those two. If you don't like Malmsteen, check out those two, please, Nicole. And thank you for jumping in with us tonight. But we're almost at the end of things here. We'll get to the bin and the fun stuff in just a second. But while we're here, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, give it a share, get in the comments whether you're watching now or later on or listening. Give us your thoughts. It's always helpful to have that. And, all our details are in the description or the post or whatever it is that you're tuning in via. So like, follow, subscribe, and do the same thing, please, to our fantastic sponsors. So thank you to Squidding Screen Printing, Old Colt, and Rockstar Finance. Check them out. Give them a little bit of love for the help they give us here. If you'd like to help us out, check out our Patreon page, which is awesome if you'd be so kind to do that. And, otherwise, we are just going to be keeping on. We've got another interview to do on Tuesday night. That'll be our next stream. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about the Dark Parade, Eradicator. And this week's classic review is one that's been requested a few times now, and that is the Oddsman's Crazy Horses. We are actually going to put a bit of time into that release there. So that's Thursday night coming up. So make sure you tune in for that one. On TV, you can check us out Thursday nights on Channel 44 in Adelaide, 10:30 p.m, and Saturday nights on Channel 31 in Melbourne at 10:30 p.m. as well. And those are all the things there that you want to keep in mind going on. Our next special next week is all to do with Metal Church. And after that, our next special is going to be all to do with the last 10 years of music, celebrating 10 years of the Hard Rock Show. So we've got a bit going on now. There's a bit to plan and get organised for that, but I'll let you guys know all about that very, very soon. But that brings us to the end of things here. Nicole did jump back in to say Nothing Sacred is awesome, as is Rawtism. Awesome. Good to hear that you're all over that one as well. Yes, Rawtism's little EP was a lot of fun too. A lot of love for that one there. All right. But now it's time for the fun part of every episode where we go to our trusty companion, the bin. And I'll be interested to see if people go with the low-hanging fruit or if they're going to go for something a bit different. What do we got for the bin, Brendan?
I'm not going to go for the low-hanging fruit because it's too fucking obvious. And we all know they're a bunch of fucking propeller heads and they can all go fuck themselves. So, that aside, let's go with commentators on the Olympics that are just making shit up halfway through the fucking race. It is painful. Yep. I really enjoy the Olympics. I really do. Like I will watch any sport played at the elite level. I find it really entertaining. And I like the fact that I can sit there and watch rowing and canoeing and all this stuff and actually find it really intriguing because these people have put their fucking whole life energy into this moment. Yeah. I love it. It's beautiful. It's part of it's a great bit of human theatre. What I hate is when you're halfway through a rowing race, you get some pretentious, over-educated, fucking privileged white wanker crapping on about how they have to change strategy halfway through the race because they're fucking 7 boat lengths behind. Oh, yeah, no, this isn't going out of their fucking strategy. No shit, they're getting fucking thumped. Just say what it fucking is. Like, don't make shit up.
Hold up.
It's so painful. It's hurting
my
brain.
What strategy is there in a rowing race other than row faster?
Exactly. And they're doing the same thing like in a 100-meter swim. It's like, oh, they'll have a race plan. A race fucking plan. The race goes for 45 fucking seconds. How about get to the end faster than the other fucker? Like,
I don't know. You can plan the Tour de France.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
You can't plan a 100-meter freestyle.
Having said that, bringing the skateboarding back in was fucking awesome. Well, not back in, bringing it in. It was great.
Yeah.
Watching it all day. So good.
Okay, cool. All right. Tim, what do you got?
I would suggest that I am taking low-hanging fruit.
Yep.
Although not the low-hanging fruit that you think I'm going to be taking.
Okay.
Ooh,
but
cool.
Fucking tea towels. Like, maybe I am missing out on like a market that I didn't know existed, but Is there a demand for Orange and Arcane Saints tea towels out there? I don't know, but I would suggest the t-shirts would probably go over better.
Mm-hmm.
But fucking, I don't know. I don't get it. Not my thing. I would much rather just grab, pack of 5 tea towels from Kmart. Cost me $2.
I thought you were going more of a tea towel and keyring kind of reference, but I'm not. Nothing
What you
specific.
need is those souvenir spoons, mate. That's what you need. Is the souvenir spoons.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah.
The juice loosener.
Not even like shot glasses. Do shot glasses.
Yeah, shot glass. Yeah. There's
yeah.
Yeah. No, the tea towel is perplexing. That is a perplexing one. For those who don't know, I'm not going to go naming names. There's no need to. But yeah, it's a silly one. That one, I'm not quite sure what the net result is going to be, and the feedback I have seen has been, let's just put it this way, mixed.
Sorry.
Anyway, well, my bin is much simpler than all these ones combined. Mine is myself and my tipping this year. It can go in the fucking bin. I don't think I've ever tipped so badly in a footy sim competition as I have this year. Oh, fuck me. I've given up now. I'm just going for the roughies every goddamn day and just seeing what happens, and I'm still getting nowhere because then it just all goes to shit. So whatever. I'm over it. I'm done. Good luck to those who are doing much better than me because I'm shit this year at it. I haven't had a year this bad ever. So that's my bin, really simple and just whatever. Got some cool comments coming through, which will be ones we can all sort of agree on. What do we got here? So Dean said yes, he's taking the low-hanging fruit to bin those fucking protesters in Victoria and New South Wales. It's not hard to go with that one. Sumaleth wanted to put Yngwie Malmsteen, the person, in the bin. So
that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. No argument here.
Yep. Sally said a fruit bowl. Maybe she'd buy that with a whole bunch of orange icons there straight afterwards. So that's something you guys can think about there for orange fruit bowls. There you
go. $90.
Ornamental.
No, just fruit. $90.
Ornamental mandarins in the bin. There's your low-hanging fruit. So there you go. Ornamental mandarins. Yeah, that's kind of pointless. Here we go. Keith as well. Anti-lockdown protests in the bin with some petrol and a match in a bigger bin and throw it off a cliff. There's a lot of anger at the moment, I think, about that one.
And rightly so, too, might I add.
Yeah.
And Dean,
a lot of people seem to be taking the live and let live strategy. I'm like, fuck those guys.
It's pretty much where it is on that one. Yeah, there's not much more to add. I think I've said my bit the other day on social and that went off, so whatever, I don't give a fuck. Dean said I'm not alone with my bin, so yeah, there's a few of us that have suffered this year in the tipping competition. And Nicole on YouTube replying to Keith said, don't even get me started. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of anger towards certain sectors of society that are in the minority. It must be stressed, but there's a lot of anger out there. But that's why we just said, have some fun tonight, and we'll go with that one too.
Anyone that uses the sentence, do your research. Could I strongly suggest they do some research on the word research and what research actually means and what actually entails research, because I wouldn't even know how to research anything properly, and that would be true of 95% of the population. So before you're going to start using that to besmirch someone else, insert it in yourself.
Yeah. Here we go. Nicole's gone religion, politics, and COVID and no-go zones now. I don't think there's much neutral territory left anymore. I would just like to say on all this one that as a society has evolved, we've learned to rely on expertise. That is what has allowed us to get forward. People have been allowed to focus on things because they didn't have to also farm their own food.
People who know how to research specialized fields.
Yes, that is what it's all about. We don't get certain sectors of health workers or whatever else have you to produce albums or write songs. We don't get them to produce TV shows or streams.
But that's why we've got musicians doing album reviews.
Yes.
No, we're not the brain surgeons here.
No, we're not. And I wouldn't want us.
I'll happily I'll take the brain surgeon's advice on what to do for that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. As soon as, I don't know. But that's my take on it. I think that, people are getting a bit silly with this kind of stuff. But anyway, there's a lot of anger out there, and it is what it is. Hopefully we get over this sooner rather than later, and that would be helped greatly by a certain rollout of a certain bunch of vaccines. But hey, we'll get on to it. But anyway.
I was reading today, and I don't even know if this is true, so it doesn't matter because I didn't do my research. But apparently there was like there was like an anti-mask fucking like brigade of people in like 1918 in America, and their biggest thing is they were concerned that Levi Strauss, who are making all the masks, were making too much money from it.
Too much money.
This has all happened before. We're just doing
the doctor who made the link between bacteria and infection and recommended that people wash their hands was put in an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So, do your research, folks.
You got to do your research, Andrew.
Yeah, I know. Well, speaking of research, Keith's got to go on. Even young Brett Sutton only looks like Eddie Vedder. That's it. So there we go.
That's true.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So, he's
You know who else he kind of looks like? A young Chuck Schuldiner.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I haven't really given it that much thought as to who he looks like, so I'm not going to jump with anything.
You didn't do your research.
No, I didn't do
I've done enough research.
I'm renowned for doing research. I'm renowned for being a fuckwit on online streams. That's what I'm renowned for. And on television. I'm not renowned for anything else apart from that. So I'm quite happy to stay in my lane in that regard.
I was listening to that Yngwie album, and all I could think was that Swedish guy from Metalocalypse. You've got to be the fastest guitarist on the planet.
And Tim, Keith was agreeing with you as well, so there you go. We find a way to lighten up as we get along toward the end, so hopefully everyone's enjoyed tonight's little meandering little garden path walk through all things to do with the world today, but most especially where we focus on things like metal and rock, because that's where we can do our research. So that's what it comes down to in that regard. But no, thank you everyone for jumping in tonight. Hopefully you've had a lot of fun with us, and thank you to you two both as well for another fun little stream on a Sunday night. Good little Sunday session. It's been fun.
Yeah.
I missed my guitar wall.
I know.
Yeah,
hopefully
I know.
working probably for next time, man, because that'd be nice. Well, we just got to get the fucking internet worked in this country. That'd be another nice one as well. But hey, whatever. But yeah, it's been good. We'll do it all again. Interview on Tuesday, then another stream on Thursday. Like I said, our next Thursday night stream will be the Dark Parade, Eradicator, and the Osmonds. A classic review for that one there. So there we go. Oh, that's cool. We got some late comments coming in. So Nicole jumped in saying thanks. Noel, thank you for joining us as well. It's good to get small comments on the side of things. And Tim, show us your room. We did this one last time, but this is for Sumila, so this is a different one for Tim. He's getting a couple. Yeah, the drum room. There we go. There's drums behind him. That's about it. And this one here, Sally's going to love this the streaming live thing, 10 out of 10. Yes, we are getting a lot of positive feedback on this one, so we are enjoying this one for sure. And
also any way to help us out is greatly appreciated. And the simplest way to do that is if you can share the stream.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to help us grow our reach. And as you know, we've got 3 years of TV left, so this is the way things are going moving forward from now on. So if any help is greatly appreciated.
Yep, that is the simplest thing to do. Even just a like and a comment, even if you don't want to share it, liking and commenting is the best way to go. Even if you're not watching live, just do it later on. It helps get those numbers up for us to get it out there far and wide. Sumaleth was saying it was a callback joke, so yes, it is a callback joke. Yeah. Dean said, cheers,
on your window now, you're really concerned.
Yes, well, that would be interesting. What we should do is, like, if we get a photo in the comments, which is going to be odd there. And Dean also misses the guitar wall, Brendan. So there you go. We'll get that.
Lockdown. Come around for a beer. Bring your own beer. Yeah. Actually, bring me beer too.
Yeah, and a guitar. You guys can play with the guitars.
That'd be good. Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. It's been an absolute blast. As always, we'll see you all again very, very soon. Until then, I'm Andrew.
Tim.
Brendan.
As always,
drink up.
Rock on.